Hey, it's Amanda from Shine and Shadows. Here today to walk you through the steps of opening up and setting up your first palette and then putting on your makeup for the first time for your new order with Seint Makeup. Thank you for trusting me with your makeup and trying your new look out. And I'm excited for you to learn, and I hope that you continue to trust the process of what we're doing. First of all, we'll go through the colors. You're going to have a brightening highlight and a main highlight, a contour color, and a lip and cheek. You may have gotten an illuminator. You may have gotten something for color correction, and you may have gotten some eyeshadows and different products for like eyebrows, for instance. So we'll go through, kind of breeze over some of those. If you have specific concerns, let me know and we'll walk you through that. But first of all, we'll start with setting up your palette, okay? So depending on what you ordered and kind of what you're going through, you're going to have a palette or a compact, whichever you want to call it. The compact is going to be different sizes based on what you prefer. This here is called a palette 4. So it has a spot for 1, 2, and then 3, 4 colors, right? So I have here already a two different highlight colors, and we'll put next to it a contour and then a lip cheek color. I have mine already set up, so you could, if you are trusting yourself, put that right into next to it. But I usually like to recommend girls take, and this is not to line up, but take your tin. It's going to have a top and a bottom. The lid slides off, and I usually just take one finger on the top and one finger on the bottom, and take that top finger and slide it back, and that will expose the tin. So to keep your fingers out, just put it in place like this and slide it into place. You get the picture, and slide it into place. I usually like to use the back of my tin lid to kind of pop it in to get it lined up, and then it will stay like that. This normal would be a lip cheek. I just don't have one right now in a tin. So I like to line them up so it's lightest to darkest. So I'm going to use my brightening first, and then my main contour will be the second color over, and then I will have my contour and then my lip cheek. And I just like to do it in that order, and you'll see it kind of in all the pictures and graphics that I have, that it's kind of in that order. You can set it up however works for you. But if you have a double decker, we used to call these, this one is a 12. We do have 8s, which is basically 2 layers of this one. This is the 12, so it's a little bit wider than that first one, but as you can see, it's got room for 4 across, and then 2 laying like this. And that's wonderful as well. And then you can also put eyeshadows in these. I always recommend, if you're going to have creams and you have powders, that you have either 2 separate 4s or a double deckered one. And you can put your powders on one layer and your creams on the other, and keep those separate, because if you know what any kind of eyeshadow palette looks like, nature of the beast, it's going to leave some dust, and that dust will indeed get into your creams. So keep those girls safe, right? So moving forward, after you've gotten your palette all set up, we're going to go ahead and start with your makeup. So I like to start with a clean face. Always moisturize. Have your moisturizer on your skin, and have that on well in advance so that you have moisturized skin and it's had time to soak in, okay? So we'll just get started here. I have my palette. I have the big guy. This is the 27. So unfortunately, it's not available with the rewards credits, or excuse me, the palette credit program, but it is available with the, where did I put my handle it? It is available with the, just buying it separately, or if you have a party, and you can use your party rewards to get a 27 for no cost. And I love the 27 because it's 3 layers. This metal metallic one is actually fantastic. It's got this little tab right here, so I know I can get right onto my top layer, and then it's got the mirror. Second layer, so this is where I have all of my colors. I have my brightening colors here, and I have my main colors here. I use 2 mains and 2 brighteners in the summertime just to help separate, but if it is also my summer and my winter colors is how I have that set up. And this is backwards probably for you. So here again, my summer colors and my winter colors, because this is a little bit brighter and this is a little bit darker for my main, but I use a combination of the two to get that going. Then I have my contour, here, and then my lip and cheek colors that I like. And then I have my bronzer and my glow illuminator off to the side together. Next layer, I do my eyeshadows, and I have my vanilla dust, and then I have my cleaning tile, and then this is the one cream I have in here, and it generally stays pretty safe. It is the Black Friday eyeliner. So that's on my second layer. And then on the third layer, more eyeshadows because you can never have enough options, right? Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to use one side, I'm going to use my finger to get my color onto my face. On the second side of my face, I'm going to use my brush. You can use any brush. Options of brushes you might have gotten is the buff brush. And the buff brush has a smaller end and a larger end. I usually use the smaller end to place those colors, you know, right up against in that small area of my eyes and whatnot. If you need to get in there to place it in the crease of your nose, whatever. But I literally dab to get the makeup up, and I swipe it onto my skin. You only need to tap onto that tin to get enough color. And you'll see this is a clean brush. I'm going to show you. This is one dab. You see that? That's all I need to do. I did not swipe. I didn't dig. It's just a dab. I'm just going to take that and swipe it onto my face. So that is my color. And I've done this long enough so I know how much I need. But this is cream. This does not have any water in it. It is pure product. So you do not need a lot of product for it to go on, and it's going to blend into your skin nicely, okay? So again, dab. And I'm going to go down the center of my face with this. There's no right or wrong reason. It's just a dab onto my tin, and I only need to use like one dab for an entire area, okay? I just get right into it. And this side I'm using my brush. This side I will use my finger. So I'll just go in and use my finger, and I'm just touching it lightly to get product up, okay? And I just swipe it onto my skin. Touching that product lightly, I kind of feel it melt. I'm going to touch a little bit of the other color to get extra brightening into that darker circle, and that's all I need. I might just a touch there. If you notice, I don't blend as I go. I wait until the end, and the reason I do that is because you're allowing time for that makeup to warm up onto your skin, and it's going to soften, and it's going to move so much easier when you blend at the end, okay? Next color, I go into my main. And if you imagine a beard on me, a beard on a man would go basically from the top of his ear where it connects onto his face, across from his jawline, underneath his nose, and up here. That's where I'm going to put my main color. And that's the only place I'm going to put my main color, because I'm going to put contour on my forehead. Sounds crazy. So I have this side as my finger, and I'm just swiping, and I'm only putting color where I'm not going to have any other color. So I don't even have to put my main shade where my contour is going to go. And if you want to put your contour color on now so you know, do it. And I just get a swipe of that and I put it onto my skin. So I know where to put it because I've done it, and you will too. Where the top of your ear meets your face, that's your starting point, and your ending point is the outside corner of your eye. So I don't want to go any further than that. And you put it, I have my cheekbone, the top of it, the very apple, I walk it back, and that's where it connects to my face. And underneath that is like a little divot, right? So we're going to take onto kind of the cliff of where that's at, down. And I'm just drawing a line. It's a scary looking line, but it'll be fine. So then for my chin, I'm going to go here from the top of my ear, or the bottom part of my ear, in that little divot, and just kind of follow that jawline where that shadow is at, down towards my chin. So the contour color is a little bit thicker, so I have to try a little bit harder to get more product on. But if I look at this right here, yes, that's a scary looking line, but it's going to blend out really, really well, and I want you to trust this process. This is where it gets scary. So here, my finger from the middle of my forehead down, you can go up, that's fine, but basically just kind of right. You don't have to go up against your hairline, just bring it down a little bit, because we will blend, and it'll blend into your hairline and down towards the center. The idea of this makeup, it is one layer. You don't have to pack on layer after layer. You don't have to do foundation, brightener, contour, cheek color, all of those things. It's one layer of color, and they will all blend out seamlessly, I promise you. Okay, so here we go. This is why I do this. If you take your fingers, lots of information packed in here. Take your fingers at the highest point of your arch of your brow and connect those two together. This is where I want the brightest part of my forehead, and this is where I want the darkest. So this will help create dimension and help have that forehead look a little bit smaller maybe, and have more drawn out, so you have more of a profile effect. Okay, so this side is mostly done. I haven't contoured my nose, and I usually save that for the very end just because I tend to overblend. It's fine. So I'm going to take my brush on this other side, and I haven't done my main shade yet either. So, and I can finish, I didn't really do a whole, and that's all I need to do. I like to do a little bit of my darker color in that crease of my nose and on any blemishes I might have. Okay, so now I'm going to take my big end of my brush into my main shade. And again, I'm just dabbing on there, right? Get some of that onto that crease I talked about. Okay. And again, that's all I'm going to do. Swiped it on. So I like to go back in with the small end of my brush and go into my contour. And this is why I like to use my finger, is because now I've got this dark contour on my brush. And when I put my brightening on tomorrow, I have to clean my brush off. Okay, same concept. Get a little bit more of that product on there than you think you need, and it'll blend out, I promise. Okay, so there's my forehead, there's my cheekbone, and then against my jawline. All right, scary, scary. So one other thing you can do, if you're like me and you have this third chin, double chin, whatever, tilt your head back when you're looking straight ahead and there's a source of light in front of you, and you see a little shadow. Take that contour behind the shadow and just bring it back, okay? So I haven't put my cheek color on yet. I'm gonna wait for that to the end, because I will blend this out. I do have a little bit of brightening color I'll use. So I have my big end of my brush, or you could use, and I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, your 3D brush. If you're using that, you can use this to apply the same concept: small end, big end, small end, big end, okay? So since I have makeup on this, I'm going to use this to blend. And I start with my brightest colors first. You can use your big end, but again, I've got that contour on there. And I'm going to blend these both the same no matter what. So I'm just kind of doing a tapping motion and getting that color into place. And that's all you need to do. So here I just kind of soften up that center and blend this out a little bit, and then come down like a little tap sweep. Okay, got a lot right there, but that's all right. So here I'm going to start again. I'm avoiding this contour area first, just kind of moving the rest of this color if I have any excess, moving that into place. Okay. This side's like almost done. All I have to do is that contour color. Same thing on the other side. Be gentle with that skin around your eyes. These are very soft brushes, but still be gentle. Get right up against your lash line. Get your whole eyelid, because that's going to be a nice little primer and help your eyes pop a little bit more. If you have any discoloring or redness, it'll kind of help it even out. And then same thing on your nose. Bring those colors together and they just blend so nicely. Okay. I think we got it. So now I'm going to do the contour. You can see it's already coming together. We're going to kind of blur that line out, just soften it up. When I use the brush to apply this, it kind of already blended it a bit, but I'm just going to make sure and I move it into my hairline a touch, and then I will come back and bring it out. Okay. Same thing on this other side, blur that out a little into the hairline and then in. And then we'll go for the jawline blurring. And this is where I flick. If you feel like you went too far down, like if I want to do an imaginary line, I feel like I have some here, I'll fix it at the end with adding a little bit of my contour, and we'll do that at the end. So here I'm going to just blur again, starting back here, and bring it down. All the way back if you need to, kind of brush it back behind your ear, all the way down. If you feel like you have a lot on, just make sure you're blending it out and it will really, really even out a lot. I'm kind of going at a pace so that you can do this alongside with me if that works out for you. And I'm taking an amount of time because, there we go, and flick. Just make sure you're kind of fine tuning any blending you might need to do, and you'll get the hang of this pretty quick. Okay, so here I feel like I maybe went down a little bit too far, so I'm just going to take one dab of my lighter mane, and I'm going to just do like a little check mark on this side. That will clean that up really, really nicely. Do the same thing on the other side. All the way up into your hairline. Beautiful. Okay, you did it. So at this point is when I would use that perfector sponge, and I didn't even get it ready. But you take your blender, beauty blender, whatever, have it wet, clean, squeeze out all that water, squeeze it into a towel even, and go ahead and blend it out and tap and bounce it onto your skin, okay? I don't have it, so we're not going to do it. So this is the point where I'm going to go ahead and do my cheek color. And just take your, if it's a buff brush, if it's a 3D brush, it's going to be the big end, okay? Big end. And I'm going to take into my cheek color right here. I like Frenchie. And I just, depending on how dark your skin is, you might just need one tap. I just use one tap or dab of my cheek color. So start from like the outside corner of your eye, where the top of your cheekbone is, go behind it, and I blend that down into that contour, okay? Beautiful. Same thing, other side. Top of that on the outside corner and then back. Woo, ouch. Don't mind me. I'm real, right? I'm not going to edit that out. Okay, I think we're good. And then if you wanted to at this point, take that and do your lips. You can. That's my Frenchie onto my lips. I like to take black cherry over top. And it's a nice, pretty little color. Got some on my nail. That's good. And that's my lip and cheek, okay? So now, I never leave the house without my eyebrows. I don't. So I always use my line brush, that beautiful end of that hard stiff brush. I love it. It's got that beautiful chiseled edge, and I touch it just like one little touch onto the eyebrow color, or if you're using a contour color, you can use this end, or you can use the spoolie brush. When you get this brush, this is a straight brush, and this part itself is even straight. I gave mine just a little bit of a bend, so it kind of raises up a little bit at the end of it, and that just makes it more ergonomic. So when I'm going onto my face, I don't have like a straight stick. You can imagine, like, oh, to get a good angle. So I just did mine a little bit of a bend and put that on. So if you're using this to brush contour color onto your hairs, just make sure when you go in, you're touching the your skin, that you're sweeping it through that hair, because I know some of us have really light, I don't have very light eyebrow colors or eyebrow hairs. If you just sweep it through, it's gonna get that directly on the hair. But just be mindful that you might need to come back and clean up, because if you're sweeping onto your skin, you're gonna leave that on there as well. Kind of a no-brainer there. So I have just a dab of my eyeshadow color, which I use Kohl, and I just touch, and I'm just gonna clean up the shape. So I'm gonna basically put it exactly along the line of my, where it ends there, and just sweep that through, and I'm just coloring the end, the base of my skin, basically. I don't even know what I'm saying. So I'm just gonna get one more tap, and I go right along that hairline where it kind of goes in between where all of those stragglers are, and it cleans that up. But I still have a full brow without plucking anything away. Same thing back here, just kind of making that a little bit more defined. You can use as much of this or as little of this as you want to make it as bold or natural. You can always go back and then just kind of sweep through, and that will soften those lines ever so slightly, and just make sure you have a nice natural shape. There you go. One done, one to go. Same thing other side. Just filling in any bare spots you might have, cleaning up the end. There we go. Done. Awesome, girls. We'll save eyeshadows for another look, but this is your look. And I know this is a 20-minute plus video, but I promise you, you will get through it. You will be a pro in no time. You saw how fast I did it at the party, and I can't wait to see you in your new faces. Make sure you take a before picture and an after picture. Maybe save it. If you don't want to do it for your first time, do it for your second time, and it's going to be awesome. So please share it with me. If you want to share it on my page, you absolutely can. I encourage it. If you want to have a party, reach out and let me know, because you can get tons of free product. No joke. No joke. All you pay is tax. So have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Take care.